3. So you have registered, you have done your vooraanvraag, so the first, and you have received an email from the PBC saying that you are good to go. So you go onto the website and you go into subsidieaanvragen, you go to my PBCCG, and you put in your email and password, and you're good to go. See, there's your message. It says they have received, and you can continue on. So I'm gonna go there and I'm going to say this is it. I have one that's in already, but I'm going to continue doing my test project. So the information you had already filled in the other pieces is here. You might need to continue filling in some of the information. Anything that has asterisk is to be filled in. So I'm just gonna do some numbers. I'm gonna tell it's an IBAN and it's the stichting, and so I'm just gonna fill in all of this. I'm not gonna bore you and tell you that I am going to fill in everything while I'm talking to you, but I'm going to make sure that everything that I have done, everything that is important, is filled in. So then comes the again, this is the little bit you had filled in the first vooraanvraag, and now it's important. So all of the information on the aanvrager is there, but the projectgegevens, the financiën, and the bijlagen are what's very important for you to fill in. Without this, and clicking on opslaan and verzenden it's not going to be good. So it's going to ask you, are you asking the PBCCG for something? You either say yes or you say no. If you say no, it's going to ask you, who are you asking? And there are 4 options here. These are the fondsen op naam that are under our paraplu, and they each have a specific, let's say, information that you would like to be able to fill in. In our case, I'm going to go back because it is the PBCCG that I'm asking, and I'm going to say blah, blah, blah again. This is why I'm asking. Is it, what is the area of interest? In my case, let's say I'm doing something that has to do with monumentenzorg. So I'm going to say, okay, the werkterrein that I'm looking for is monumentenzorg. And they're going to ask you what your most important focus group is, and you're going to fill in whatever you want. So let's just say algemeen publiek. And this is what I had, like I said earlier, this is what I had filled in. And now I'm going to be able to fill in all kinds of other information. I'm going to have to describe. So you describe your project here, and you go into as much detail as you can in 200 words. But you are going to get an opportunity later on to upload a document that has, let's say, the details of your project. So in here, please fill in your most important things that have to do with your project. The doelgroepen, that's important. You can put anything you want in there, all the groups that you hope to get. You're going to have to be very specific right here. What are you asking a bijdrage for? And I would say to fix since it's monumentenzorg, to fix the pillars on the building, let's say. So yeah, it's going to correct me every once in a while. Yes, that's what I want to do. Why am I doing that? To beautify the building, to conserve blah 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 blah, and so I'm just going to fill in anything that I think are important to say in this. Again, you get 150 words. That's quite a bit. So you be as precise as you can. The more information you give us, the easier it will be to assess your application. and the easier it will be for us to understand exactly what it is you want to do. So, if earlier we asked you who the focus groups are, we're going to ask you now how many people are you trying to reach with this, and we don't just want a number. No, we want to explain who those people are or how you get them. Okay, so for instance, if you're saying I want 1,000 people, tell us that you're going to approach schools and get 1,000 visitors from schools, for instance, to come in and be there. So that's something we request. How are you going to do this? Which specific which specific things are you going to do? Um, um, uh, so consult architects, consult monuments people, for instance, and whatever else you think you need to do. So again, give us some steps you are going to do here. We're going to ask you what you have done already. We understand that you will have done some work already on your project, but in principle, a project that has already started does not get a subsidy from the PBCCG. So make sure that what you have done is basically your legwork, getting your project together, wording it right, finding out what it costs, maybe approaching certain people to know who you're going to work with. But just tell us what you've done already. So already have offers, um, uh, things like that. Have quotes, have selected the contractor, for instance, things like that. Um, then you're going to tell us how are you going to measure your project. So the results of your project. This could be um, in this case, Monumentenzorg is a bit difficult to measure, but I'm going to measure by the amount of photos posted on Facebook, let's say. My building is going to be so beautiful that people are going to be wanting to take pictures with it and post on Facebook. That's, for instance, one of the ways I'm going to say it. The other thing is, you could be saying, I'm going to do a survey. I'm going to ask the participants their opinion. You could give us anything. Give us an idea of when you want to start your project. You can either pick a specific date or tell us, about 3 months from now or such and such time. Again, give us a specific date for ending the project, or give us an idea of how long it will take to do your project. So those are the things that we're asking for. Is this a program that's going to come back? That's important for us to know, because we want to know if it gives us a little bit of an idea about the durability. In our case, it's a no, because the project, once I fix those pillars, there's nothing else that I need to fix. They're going to ask you how many people are involved with a project, and this could be your own people, but it could also be the people that are going to be working for you. So it's really the people that are we want to have an idea of how many people are going to be involved with getting this specific project, which you are asking a subsidy for, done. We're going to ask you what those people are going to be doing. You don't have to give very, very specifics, but you're going to say, okay, 3 people are going to be doing the project supervision, and 3 people are going to be actually building, and 3 people are going to, or one guy is going to make sure that everything happens according to the plans. So he's going to be the supervisor of the project. So you can be as specific as you can. Again, the more information you give us, the better we are able to judge and understand your project. If you're working with different organizations, who's doing what within those organizations? Is there a follow-up to your organization? In this case, I'll say yes. We will want to publish a book about it afterwards. A book after. Okay, great. Then we know that you have a certain vision. It's not just fixing those pillars, it's doing something that will later on get another piece to it. We're going to ask you which island it's going to be your project is on. Important is that you try, if it's on more than one island, just put down one of your islands, the one that's most important, and you can always add in overige projectgegevens. You can always add if it's, for instance, in my case it's Curaçao, but with cooperation with Statia, for instance. So that will give us an idea that the project goes a little further. But here's also the spot where you can say, I already, look at project XYZ for example of what we want. That's, for instance, an idea. There's various things you can write here. Again, you have 150 words, so go ahead. In this area, we're asking you, what can you tell us? Is there anybody that can vouch for you? Is there anybody you can put down as a reference? We don't always call that person, but when we have certain question marks about a project, about a new group that's applying to us, or something of that kind, we will consult this person, and we want to be able to consult someone who will tell us a little bit about you as an organization, but does not necessarily have anything to do with the project. Very important. So that's the project, the information we need about the project. Then we go to the financiën. This is very important. We're going to ask you how much you're asking the PBCCG. I know you filled it in earlier, but you can probably get more specific in this by the time you're filling this in. So you tell us, okay, I'm going to be asking for 15,000, and my total project costs are 100,000. That's important for us to know. What percentage are you asking us? And let me just tell you that we usually want to see that you're putting some effort into it as well. Right here, you can choose to upload. You just say choose file. You go on to your own things, and you choose a document. I'm just going to choose something right now so that you have an idea. Where am I going? Sorry, I need to find a document that I can say, okay, begroting. Here we have begroting right there. I'm going to upload that one, and it will automatically upload once I choose that. So did I do that? Here. I'm going to choose, and it's going to upload to my system. Here it tells you it's uploaded right there. If I need a dekkingsplan, I'm going to choose that right then. Oh, there it is. The dekkingsplan is going to be right here. So I'm going to add that to it as well. And then I'm going to put in all the offertas that are that come up to at least that 15,000 or that amount that you are requesting. Important to tell you right now is sometimes you get to this point and you realize you don't have all the documents ready to go. What you can do at that point is go into this one, opslaan en sluiten, or you can sla up anytime you want. I can just say, okay, save this for me right now. And I'm going to look for the stuff. But for instance, if I did not have all of this, I realize I have to go do some more homework. I'm going to say opslaan en sluiten. I come back in another day, and my test project is still going to be there. All the information I just put in is there, and I can continue. Okay, so I'm going to put the offertas in here. Again, you choose your file. I'm going to say that's the one I want. It's in there, and you can choose up to 10 right here. Then the bijlage, these are very important things that we're asking you. This gives us an idea again about your organization. So the financiën is everything about the project itself that you just submit, that you are going to submit. The bijlagen are more about your organization. Your statues, we would like to see a statue. So you make sure that you put your statuten in there, your bylaws. You choose a file, your recent Chamber of Commerce registration. You choose that, you put that in there. You choose a jaarrekening if you have them. If you don't have something, we just want to have an overview of what. You don't need to have something that's audited by accountants. Just give us whatever you use to keep track of your finances. You're going to put that in there. If you have a jaarverslag, we would love to see that. It gives us an idea of how serious you are as an organization. If you use a jaarplan, please select that, add that to any activiteiten projectplan. So maybe you're a bigger organization and you have many projects running at the same time. You probably have an idea of the other things that you're doing. We would like to get that. And lastly, we want to know how you know us. Please add that, and you're gonna let me know if your board and or your director is in agreement with that. This is a tricky one. The handtekeningformulier, we do want a signature. So what you do right here is opslaan again. You go back to the PBCCG and in there, in geldvragen, you can download the handtekeningformulier. Right there, you're gonna download it, it's gonna come up. You print this out, you fill it in, you make sure that the people that are allowed to fill it in. So the information about the organization, you make sure that they sign. Usually if it's a foundation, 2 people have to sign. You make sure that that's in there. Another thing that's very important, look at this piece. If your board allows you as a director of the company, for instance, you're the manager, and you're allowed to finalize everything else that has to do with a subsidy, please make sure that they fill in here that you are allowed to handle all of this. So we don't keep requiring the board, 2 people from the board to sign things in the future. If it's only a person requesting, they fill in this part. If it's a minor that's doing the petition, we need the and their signature and their parent or guardian signature. So you print that out, you fill it in, you scan it, and you send it back to us. So I'm ready to go back to my form. I'm going to go back into my PBCCG. I'm going to upload that as well. Remember, we still have everything in here. I'm going to upload that last thing. Once I have that, I'm going to say opslaan and verzenden. And then you can consider that your information is in there. If for some reason you did not have all the information you needed, you can always send a you can always go to the berichten, and you can always say, you know what, sorry, I did not upload, oh, I'm not in there, offertes, and I'm going to say, here I send you the last offerte that was missing. And once you do that, you choose the file, and again, you upload it. I'm going to upload this one. You show it, and then you send it, and then they will make sure, the office will make sure that it's in your system. Again, every time you log out, you can log back in, and you're going to be able to find your aanvragen right here, and any information that you need is going to be right there. You can have multiple petitions going. If you forgot to send something, you just click on it and you're gonna, sorry, that's the wrong one, my test project, and I'm gonna go to berichten. So here's everything. If you want to print it out, you can. But this is all the information, and everything that we communicate with you is going to be communicated through the system. That allows us to have all the information together in one place, and allows the people that have to decide to find everything in one place. So when we send you an information and you did not let me say, for instance, you did upload and we find out that you did not add enough information, or we have additional questions, we are going to send that to you through this system. But the system will send you an email and say, hey, you have a new information, you have a new question for you in the system, and then you just go into the system and you find it. So that was step 3. Quite easy. It's a little bit of work, yes, we know that, but remember, the more information you give us, the easier it will be for us to make a well-balanced decision and honor your petition. So good luck. If you have any questions, please call us at the office or email us. We'll be glad to help you through these steps. Have a wonderful day.